This is what happens when you screw with normality. This is what you get.
Oh,
Dada.
Here's the thing.
bastard.
If anyone actually listened to whatever it is that you say at the end of the show, then we'd all be able to do it just like verbatim. It wouldn't be a problem in any way, shape, or form. However, you were always saying you rattle it off like nobody. What?
Dada, take us out. Dada, take us out of the show. Take us out. No, I meant like do it. Do the closing. Ready, go.
Dada's like, I did my part. What do you want?
Cut to you. Cut to you. Where's my ATEM? All right, here we go.
Hang on. Let me give me a second. Let me reset.
Everyone is pressing buttons. This is scary. I don't like it.
All right, ready?
I don't like it when
All right,
Daddy
and actually, I'm
fight.
going to do that. There you go.
Yay!
Ha.
Yeah, but you have to put your own volume on.
Bleh.
Bleh. Bleh.
Hold on, let me see if I can.
wanna
No,
thank
just go to black.
everyone
You don't have
for
to roll
joining us
anything. You don't
this
have to roll
week.
anything. Just take us to black. Do your thing. Say it, right? Take us out of the show and bring us to black.
Thank you, everyone for watching. We'll see you next week.
All right, it's pretty close. Close enough.
I want to thank everyone for watching.
All right, yeah. All right, your turn.
That's
Carrie
all
Ann?
I remember, though. I want to thank everyone for watching. After Dark is up next. We'll see you next week.
That's it. That's all I say. Ugh. Oi.
I'll do it better next time.
Dada did better than both of you.
And why on earth would you just want to just randomly like, hey, I want to thank everyone. Do you want to take us out? What was that about, man? It's not even remotely fair.
Oh, I don't know.
I've got to set up the.
That's like going to a restaurant and being like, yeah, I'll have the, you want to just order for me? Like, that's not a thing.
So someone mentioned in the comments last week or on Twitter or something like that Mike was not white balanced in the same way in which we were white balanced. And so we actually worked on that this week. Go back to Mike's shot. Hopefully it's a little bit closer. He's still a little more exposed than we are, but I think, wow, look at him. Yeah. Yeah. Mastering that Amish look? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're not even, we're not gonna.
Oh, jeez.
All right, we have to do a thingy.
Thing, an intro.
We could go launch, and other news.
If you want.
Launch, Mars. Yeah, it'd be launch, Mars. Right, so me, you, Mike, That work?
Sure.
I could just say launch behind you guys doing your intro for Water on Mars, Moon Express, and Wallop's Pad or Blue Origin or something like that.
Say it. So how would that work?
I would just say launch the whole time you guys are doing your voiceovers for the actual news.
Yeah, I think that might get to be, because then what do I visually show though? See what I'm saying?
The news other than launches.
You could pull a Fight Club.
How so?
So in just the nanosecond it takes for Dada to say launch, you show like just that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep,
So
that's
you're
what we
showing
do.
water?
I got it. So Dada, you need to work launch in between our words.
Yep.
Okay, so
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. All right, this all came together. Thank you, team. That was freaking amazing. I'm excited for this. All right. So I'll say coming up, Mike. You'll say water. We found flowing water on Mars.
You want me to say that first?
Yeah, I think so. Flowing water on Mars. Then I'll say, ow. Moon Express gets closer to the moon. Rocket Labs signs a contract. Rocket Labs.
There's five launches and 3 news stories. So if I start with launch.
So coming up launch, Mike says
right,
something.
Yeah. I'll get in a beat just before Mike does, and then he can do his story, and then I'll throw in a launch between, and then at the end.
Yeah, we naturally always wait anyway.
Yep.
For
All right.
a half second.
Cool. So yeah, I'll say coming up, and then you'll say water flowing on Mars. I'll say Moon Express signs a deal. You'll say Launch pad repair. Wallops
I can't say launch because if he says
Yeah,
launch,
you'll say Wallops.
right?
Wallops repairs their pad.
Wallops repairs their pad.
Sure.
Michael, you'll say Blue Origin completes a BE4 test or something like that.
No. If he does 3, there's 3 stories, right? So you
There are
get
4 stories.
Just do 3.
just do 3.
Okay, just do 3. All right, we'll do those 3. All right, and then I'll do. Plus, we talk about Moonspike kickstarting a rocket to the moon. Okay,
Okay.
ready? Coming up.
Launch.
Water flows on Mars.
No,
Nope.
no.
You-
Take
you-
2.
Don't
My bad.
completely ignore me, Mike. Don't. You can talk over
Okay.
me. I'll sneak it in. You won't even know.
Ready? All right.
That's what she
this
said.
is 2. This is 2.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
All right. Here we go. Here's number 2. Coming up.
Launch.
Water flows on Mars.
Launch.
Moon Express signs a contract.
Launch.
Wallops does something with their pad. Dang it! Sorry.
Way to screw it up.
Yep.
Here we go. Here's number 3. Coming up.
Launch.
Water flows on Mars. Sorry, I
Launch.
screwed that one up too.
Coming up.
Water flows on Mars.
No.
Here's number 4. Here we go. Coming up.
Launch.
Water flows on Mars.
Launch.
Moon Express signs a contract.
Launch.
Wallops repairs their pad.
Launch.
And we talk about Moonspike, a Kickstarter campaign for sending payload to the moon. Stay tuned.
Launch.
Tomorrow begins right now.
Damn it! We were right there.
Oh, that's
I
what
did-
she said.
I didn't expect. I didn't expect that last one. No, I stumbled over.
No, Will, we can keep it because you can show the launch of Atlantis, the first launch of Atlantis. If you want to keep it, we can actually keep it.
No, that was 5, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You
There's-
show the launch of Atlantis.
There was 5. There was 5 launches plus we added Atlantis.
So did you say launch 5 or 6 times?
I got it in the 5th time, but you broke.
Yeah, he only did 5 launches. He didn't do a 6.
How many you only did 5 launches?
Yes.
Seriously?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, crap for crap. Okay.
I counted on my fingers.
All right. Okay.
One more.
Well, if we manage to sneak
you-
a
can
6th
you-
one in, we can do it.
Can
You
you
want-
sneak a past launch in? All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is 5. All right, here we go. Coming up,
Launch.
Water flows on Mars.
Launch.
Moon Express signs a contract.
Launch.
Wallops repairs their pad.
And we
Launch.
talk about Moonspike, a Kickstarter campaign to send a payload to the moon.
Anniversary of launch.
Stay tuned. Tomorrow begins right now.
Nailed it.
Anniversary launch. That was great.
Yeah.
Oh man. More subliminal.
Well, if that was the 5th one, then then that's fine, right?
Well, it was 6.
No,
on that one.
I got 6 in.
No, the last time you got 6 in.
Yeah, they're debating whether I should use the first one. Did you guys like take 4 or 5 better? Internet community, 4 or 5?
Do we even remember 4 and 5?
Yeah, 4 was the one where I cracked. 5 was the one we just did.
I say 5.
Now we have to wait a minute for the community to catch up.
Right.
Five.
5, 4, 5. All right, yeah. So it's overwhelmingly 5. 5 was slick. All right, yeah. We'll do 5. I mean, yeah, we'll do 5. We crack up in the show enough. I think there's no need to add it into the intro. 4, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6.
Now they're just messing with you.
Now I think it's basically tied at this point.
Yeah.
4.5.
No, 5 is fine.
I hate all of you You're
is
all
fine.
evil and mean.
5 is fine.
Oh, we have not seen The Martian yet. I'm taking, if Mike were here, I'd take Mike to go see The Martian. Mike, why don't you drive on over?
Yeah, way to just like offer that.
Sure, I'll be
now.
there in 12 hours.
Yeah.
Great, cool. Can you make it by the 7 p.m. showing tonight?
No.
Wait, does it actually take you
Can I-
12 hours
can-
to drive
can-
here?
Can you ask your boss if I can borrow his jet?
Could be using it at the moment. Well, I mean, I don't know at the moment, but I mean, he was at Solar City on Friday. Just saying.
12 hours, Mike. How far into
Yeah,
Arizona are you?
does that seriously take you 12 hours to drive here?
Probably would only take like 6, maybe 8 hours.
Okay. So,
Aren't you at like Phoenix-ish?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it still takes like, 6 hours just to get to like the San Diego area. So
yeah. So the reason, in case anyone noticed and or cared, that mom dog and or dad dog are not in the chat room,
They're coming to visit.
they're coming to visit.
They're going to see their Benny.
The sad part is, though, they're not going to stick around for another live show.
Nope.
Aw.
So they're all literally. I don't understand this.
That's
in-
probably by
at
design,
all.
knowing them. They don't want to. They don't want
But-
me to drag them on the live show.
I have to say, and I can say this because they're not going to see this for weeks at this point. I was a little offended that they're like, "Oh, we're only going to see you during the week, and then once we leave you, we're going to go have fun in San Diego without you over the weekend when you have time to hang out with us."
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, seriously, what is that about?
Yeah.
We're only coming in on Monday. We didn't give you enough notice to take time off of work, and then we're leaving Friday. So there's
Whatever.
that. And then we're going to go and have fun without you. Seriously?
Yeah.
Your parents suck sometimes.
Oh.
So, everyone take a shot.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I actually did see The Martian last night, and it was awesome. It was very, very good.
So I had to make a choice. I had to choose between the Dolby Atmos sound, the really super highly precise sound system, or the ginormous screen. But I couldn't have both. Which one should I choose? The ginormous screen or the insane crazy sound system?
Destructor 1701, they're not gonna.
Who has a longer line?
No lines for either, right? So prepaid tickets. Which one? I'll tell you what I chose. I've already bought the tickets. I'll tell you what I chose after the fact, but I want to know which would you think I should have chosen.
Video is half audio, right?
Audio's half video?
I guess I would have chosen the bigger screen.
Yeah, I went with the sound. I went for the and no, Dada, you got the quote wrong. It's video's 80% audio.
Something like that.
Yeah, no, that not something like that. That is the quote. Video is 80% audio. You.
Are you watching it in 3D by chance, or just
No,
regular?
I don't. I'm done with 3D. Did you watch it in 3D?
I did, but I didn't have like a choice on it. Someone else.
I thought you were gonna say I didn't have the glasses on.
3D is only awesome when Ben picks the
Oh, shut up.
third row.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So this was an IMAX 3D, mind you.
Yes.
Well, AMC IMAX 3D, which isn't real IMAX, and you have assigned seats, and so I'm at the little machine thingy choosing my seats, and I figure I'm about, we're at a pretty good place. I think we're fairly high up in the thing, and it'll look nice, and because it was a fairly full theater, we get there and realize that I had inverted actually where I thought the screen was. So instead of being near the back of the theater, we were all the way down at the front of the theater.
Row C.
Yeah.
A being the first row.
Yeah. That was
And it wasn't row C like in the middle.
No.
It was row C like
It was
four,
the third
it was
row
a fairly it was a
four
fairly
seats
from the
from the
frickin'
end.
screen.
it was
That's
a full
like
theater. It was a fairly full theater, so I didn't have a whole lot of choice. And what I should have done, if I had realized that, I would have probably just moved the movie time to, so we would have gotten better seats. But I thought we actually were. I'm like, all right, well, we're off center a little bit, and we're fairly far back, but that's okay, not a big deal. And so it's hilarious because we sent the Duddas in first, and then we got snacks and stuff. And
then we couldn't find them.
And then the movie had kind of, the
Couldn't
previews
find us
started.
in the back of the theater?
Yeah, so we walk in and we're looking up at the back. We're like, it's got to be somewhere back there. Looking. Turn to my right, and there they are waving like frantically, like we're way the hell down here. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing down here? They're like, this is where you got the tickets, idiot. Oh.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We had hot dogs, so it was okay.
Oh, we did. We had hot dogs.
That's what she said.
Well, we did.
Really? 3 in one show?
Not even remotely my fault.
I mean, a little bit.
Hey, the whole chat room totally caught me on, what did I say earlier? Something about drilling something into the moon. I didn't even hear it until somebody typed it all out, and I was like, oh, awesome. Oh, well.
So there you go.
I don't know why I'm chatting this. Destructor 1701, I did see it in 3D, but I watched it in the very back, and there was some like bending in mountains looking weird, but not as bad as it would have been had I been near the front. So
say row C or so.
I got the audiobook going in my car.
Oh, you know what's better than the audiobook?
The movie?
Yeah, we're gonna see the movie.
Right.
Somebody at work said that they were going to go see it, but they'd only read about 2/3 of the book. And I said, well, then you have to either read the book really quickly or you have to leave. Like, you can't. I don't understand. Why would you?
So, Space Mike, did you just have a rocket take off over your house?
Yeah.
No, I am right next to an Air Force base, and
Are they Air Forcing right now? Are
yeah,
they
they're Air
forcing the
Forcing right now.
They're forcing there.
Oh,
Yep, just some jets going over.
Drill
If I
your
was outside,
DNA
I
into
might
the
be able
moon.
to tell
That's
which
what
ones.
the drill your DNA to the moon.
Yeah. In any variation, that does not appeal to me.
So, good movie, worth it.
Oh man, so good, so good. You know, not only am I gonna watch this movie again in the future, but this is one of those movies that like I wouldn't even mind going and paying the $15 to go see it in the movies in the theaters again. Like it was awesome. That was.
How often do you rewatch
so
movies
awesome.
ever?
Fight Club is like the only one that I can really think of.
Okay. Then we're on the same page.
Except for the core.
Wait. Rewatch movies in theaters or rewatch movies, period?
Rewatch movies, period. I almost never rewatch
For
a
me,
movie.
period. Like I mostly just watch movies once, and that's all I need, unless it's like, something really amazing. Fight
Like
Club,
The
I've
Core.
watched.
That's just sad.
The core.
Right.
Yes.
The core is pretty amazing, so yeah.
The core is pretty
totally
amazing.
worth watching. more than
I'm not
once.
joking. We legitimately have seen the core like what?
I think
Maybe
it's
5,
probably
10
the
times?
one movie I have seen more than any other movie.
Not because it's a good movie, but
no,
because it's
no.
so bad.
It's
You just get some popcorn and you
hilariously
just get
awesome.
your giggle on. Just get your giggle. I mean,
Guys
they
doing
start.
the whole Mystery Science Theater.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so bad. It's so much fun to watch over and over because it stays epically bad, and it ages just as poorly as the movie was.
Oh,
Oh, it's
yeah.
fantastic. It's so much fun. Watch the core once per year. You cannot watch it more than once per year. That will ruin it. Once per year.
I'm surprised that only has a 41% tomato rating.
What? Because it's like it's not good in it's like right on that cusp of it's just bad enough to be hilarious.
So, Kitty, you say that it's sad that because you probably miss a lot of things the first time around that you need multiple times to catch. I would, yeah. I mean, I'll give that one to you for the most part. Although, just this morning, Ben and I were discussing. We watched the Tesla Model X event, and we watched it together.
I want a Model X.
We watched it, so we watched it at the same time because we watched it together, and I never went back to rewatch it. And he, this morning, I don't know, were you reading an article? I don't even know what was going on with that. But you're like, huh. I said, what? And he's like, did you remember how we were watching the Model X event? Oh, yeah. And you know how Elon had to go back and close the door? And I said, yeah. He's like, well, it turns out the guy who got out of the car, he closed the door, and then the door opened, and then Elon had to go back and close the door. And I was like, yeah. he goes, well, no, I just thought he left it open. I'm like, no. He got out of the car, he closed the door, he walked away, and then the door magically popped open again. And I thought, huh, that's really weird. And then within about 5 minutes, Elon goes, oh, and by the way, there's this really cool thing, blah, 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 triangulates you coming up to the car, and the door opens for you. And I went, oh, see, that was a mishap.
Which, by
That's
the way,
really
speaking
funny.
of-
Totally weird, because I noticed that, and now there's an explanation for it, and so I don't really care anymore. Awesome. And then Ben's like, really? You really? And I was like, yeah, that's what happened. So I'm not really sure what to tell you, but that's exactly what I saw. And that's I don't know. I am one of those really weird people who just is entirely too observational, I guess. And there's a lot of things like that. I will go through like IMDb goofs on things and go, oh, yeah, yeah, no, I don't, yep, yeah, all of those things. And it doesn't, it's not surprising to me, I guess, is my point, where a lot of times people are like, well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, no, I saw that. It's fine. So I don't know, maybe that's why I don't go back. That's the only thing I can think of, is just because I just naturally observe a lot of those things. That makes any sense.
You're more in tune with the Matrix than everybody else.
I
More in tune with the Matrix.
guess, yeah, yeah.
All right, but watch this. Watch this. She's super observant, except watch this. What are the 2 battery options for the Model X?
I don't care. I don't care.
Like, the most important thing about the car.
Want to know why? Because it wasn't visual, so I don't care.
It was on the screen.
It was on the screen?
Yeah.
In a graphic?
Yeah.
No. But I mean, like, it wasn't in a,
Graph?
yeah.
No, it wasn't in a graph.
Doesn't matter. I don't care.
It was a trick question, by the way, actually.
I'm like, there's no way that was a thing.
Oh, no, it was in there. There are, in fact, 2 models of the car that are out with,
Like, did they even talk about it?
yeah, it's a 90D and a P90D, so it's a 90 kilowatt hour battery.
All right, cool. No, I don't. No.
So that's a trick question because they're both 90.
Yeah.
Neat. I don't
Also
care.
known as Anthem.
It just doesn't.
You know, I kind of forgot. Back to the movie subject. I have watched like all the Star Trek and Star Wars films multiple times, but
Oh, we just went back and we watched Star Wars. I cannot
Yeah,
wait
you
for
guys-
Disney to release the original theatrical versions because, oh my God, it ruined Star Wars for me watching the re-edited things. I was like, this is awful. I mean, overall it's good, but the added effects just take so much away from the story.
yeah.
There's very, very few movies I've ever gone back and rewatched. I'm not even positive I've seen Fight Club twice.
Yeah,
Oh,
but-
really?
I probably have. It ranks as probably one of my most favorite movies of all time. But I feel like I have. I feel like I've seen it twice.
Oh man.
I'm pretty
I feel
sure I've
silly.
seen
I've
Princess
watched it
Bride twice, or
times.
maybe a few more, like 3 times. Although I don't know that I've seen it all the like from front to back. You know what I mean? Like one of those things.
Sure.
After I see it, I'm like, okay, well, yeah, and I remember that clip. Or no, what exactly did he say there? You know, you go back to just that clip, but I'm not positive that I've seen it.
So, Space Mike, you buying a Model X?
Someday.
They're only $135,000 to start right now.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, someday. I'm thinking I'll probably get the Model S first. So.
Or Model 3. That should be out.
Sure.
It'll be out 2017 Elon time.
Well, yeah. No, if it was actually 2017 Elon time, it would already be out.
No. So, no, right? So 2017 Elon time means like 2020 everyone else's time.
No, no, because if you want it in the way that Elon wants it, in the time that Elon wants it, it would have already been out. Is my point.
Oh, no. My point is Elon will say
Always
like,
says 2017 and really means 2020.
yeah, exactly.
The thing is, yeah, sure. And what I'm saying is he says 2017 and what he really wanted was 2015.
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
So you have to,
Yeah, Elon time.
right.
Looking forward to when I'm in like my 50s or 60s and I track down a vintage Roadster.
Nice.
That's the day.
50 to 60. That's probably when the Model 3 will come out.
Yeah, no kidding. Yes, 12 Monkeys I've seen once.
There was an article that I have to completely agree with that was complaining about the exclusivity that still remains in the availability of Teslas to those that have lots of money. And they clearly didn't read the Wait But Why article that outlined the structure for Tesla's modus operandi that mean that in that they want to produce exclusive and high cost vehicles to be able to contribute to their bottom line enough so that they can afford to build and produce the lower cost vehicles for everybody else.
Yeah, that's always been their game plan, though. I thought that's kind of...
Yeah, but this article didn't understand that or didn't read that or whatever. And he was complaining, oh yeah, and Model X is not progressive or, because it's not affordable. They think that, okay, we made the expensive Roadster and the expensive Model S. Now they should be cheap enough now.
Doesn't understand how the...
Doesn't understand how the company's intending to work.
Yep. Yeah. Although, they've said that they've said from the beginning the X wasn't going to be...
I know.
Ugh, I don't like stupid people.
Somebody made a comment about how the Model 3 is called a 3 and not an E, and that has something to do with America being too prudish for sex. That actually has nothing to do with it at all. The Model E was coming out, and Ford said that we already had a Model E, and so we didn't want any more confusion with that, and so Tesla changed it from an E to a 3.
Did they have a Model E or a Series E?
Either. I mean, Ford came out and said, "Look, we've got a thing, and you can't."
Because they've got Ford's E series is their vans.
No, I think the Model
No.
E was way back in the day.
Like Model T.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
And they said it would create confusion in the marketplace. And Elon said, really?
Because Model
Really? You
E's
think
are
someone's
still
going to think
running
Model
around?
E and think
That's
Ford?
cool. Yeah.
He's like, he just gave up. He's like, fine. So it'll be a 3 with 3 vertical or horizontal lines that looks like an E. There you go.
Yeah. Years watching a movie years later, and seeing things that you didn't catch the first time around. Absolutely, that's totally a legit thing. Because when we watched Star Wars again, there was all kinds of things that the first time watching it, I didn't. It's not that I didn't catch it. It's just I didn't absorb it in the same way.
Yeah. If your perspective on life has changed, then watching a movie is going to change how you perceive the movie.
Yeah, like one of my first comments was something along the lines of one of the characters saying, "Oh, I've got a bad feeling about this," and how I thought like how completely cheesy and stupid and cliche that was until I made the perspective change of, oh right, it sounds only cheesy and cliche now because it was never said before then or hadn't been routinely said before then, and now everyone effing says it in every single movie ever made ever. So
Mike says it every episode. It's really weird.
he has a bad feeling about
I have a
this.
bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we go live, you guys can't ever
It's
hear
right
him
around
say
the
it.
time that he answers your email.
Yeah. Before we go live, I let everyone know. I'm like, hey, we're about to stream live to the internet, and so be careful. No language or anything else. And he every time he goes, I got a bad feeling about this. It's really weird.
Oh man.
True story. Scouts honor. There
You were
go.
never in Scouts.
I was in fact in Scouts.
You were in Scouts?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah? For about as long as I was a brownie?
No, actually, fairly. I went through a bit of it. I wasn't good at it.
Unscathed? Goodness.
You mean untouched?
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. And I'm the recovering Catholic.
That's terrible. All right. Are we winding down? I think we're winding down.
I guess so.
Dada, are we winding down? I just like going to your camera.
Yeah, I believe so. I'm looking up what a Ford Model E actually looks like.
Ah.
And it's possible that the Ford Model E was electric. Electric
Oh,
vehicles were all the rage when
Yeah.
vehicles first started.
Cars started kind of as electric, and then they moved to internal combustion, and they kind of sat in internal combustion for a really long time. And now they're kind of moving back towards electric, except for Toyota because reasons. I do not understand Toyota's decision to
Because
do.
reasons is exactly
No,
it.
I don't understand.
No, I know. It's totally like step one, collect underpants.
So for those who don't know, so Toyota won't do electric vehicles anymore. They're going to be doing, because they had the RAV4 EV, which was actually a Tesla design system essentially. They stopped that, but they're moving towards hydrogen fuel cells for their cars.
Yeah.
Fuel cell, yeah, hydrogen fuel cells. So you have to. So the advantage of gasoline is you can very quickly fuel back up, and you have pretty high energy density sitting right there. The disadvantage of gasoline is pretty much everything else. Also, it's expensive. It's pollutant. A bunch of stuff wears down.
You just said everything else.
Yeah, everything else.
Okay.
So then you got electric vehicles where the disadvantage is the battery and the amount of time that it takes to charge a battery. Although they've got that down pretty quickly now at this point. It's not the same as gasoline, but 20 minutes to get you a couple 100 miles is not bad. And then Toyota's doing hydrogen fuel cell cars, which is the worst of both. Well, not quite. You can fuel it up fairly quickly, but it's under really high pressure. It's pretty dangerous. You can't fuel it in very many locations. It's more expensive than gasoline. I don't understand.
Honestly,
I'm sorry?
I'd be scared to drive one of those.
I would too. I don't, and by the way, it's actually an electric motor. So it's an electric motor. They're generating the electricity with the hydrogen fuel cell under extremely high pressure that you can only fuel in a few locations. But even if they build out that infrastructure, that's a lot of money in infrastructure. By the time they're done doing that, the battery charging time will be faster / you'll have more range on the battery than the hydrogen fuel cell car. So what is the point? This is like a no-win situation for them. I do not understand it.
Yeah, Revenge of the Electric Car was an interesting film.
Oh, yeah. That's a really good one.
Toyota Model H, Hindenburg. That's funny.
Or Higginbotham, the Toyota model. By the way, if anyone wants an old Higginbotham car, we're selling our old Lexus RX 330.
Didn't you have a buyer for that? Fell through?
Yeah, I think he moved back down to San Diego. I think it took us too long to get the release.
Which apparently it didn't. We just didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't find an actual picture of a Model E.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I have a quick question for the chat room. We need to get Ben and Carrie Ann playing some Kerbal Space Program, so we don't have a repeat of last week's episode.
What did I do last week?
Just how we were talking about how we didn't understand the different orbital maneuvers and explaining Delta V and MECO and all that sort of thing. And
I know that.
I think it would help.
I know the different maneuvers, and I know what Delta V is. Is trying to explain Delta V to someone. It was the trying to figure out how to explain something like Delta V without saying Delta V. That's where you fall down. And that was 2 episodes ago.
Oh, that was? I thought that was last week. Huh.
No, it was the acronym episode. Well, the episode after acronyms when we were talking about responses for acronyms of how do you deal with Delta V? So then it's how do you deal with Delta V? How do you explain that to someone who has never been in the space industry before? And then there was a whole huge debate in the chat room. And there was no good answer, by the way. So, explain MECO. How dare you? How dare you, sir? How dare you? I have played Kerbal Space Program. My first rocket I blew up because I didn't understand. I didn't understand how to put it together correctly, and so it was on the pad, and what I thought was the first stage was actually up here, where I wanted my second stage. So my first stage lit, and it just basically blew the whole thing to smithereens. That was fun.
Oh man!
So,
did you stop there, or did you keep going?
I stopped there.
Oh man!
Well, I mean, if I can't figure out how to put the first stage on the bottom.
Mr. Macabar, I see what you're saying, and I understand that, but there is
But the answer
a
is no.
completely different answer to that question.
Oh yeah,
question?
that's way closer, I'd imagine.
Like Carrie Ann said, their early models were labeled A through blah 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 blah. So there is a Model A, there is a Model B, and you can find evidence of those. And I just posted a link. The one that Carrie Ann just showed was a Model F. But more recently, their van series is an E series van. And so that's...
I can see where one would get confused by an E series
And a
versus
Model
E. An E series van versus a Model E car from two completely different manufacturers. I can totally see that. I say with the utmost level of sarcasm.
Well, the thing is that if any car company is like worried about confusion between car companies, like they should probably worry a little bit more about confusion about what they name their own effing cars.
Well, if this picture is accurate and there is no front windshield and you ask for a front windshield for a Model E Tesla, I don't think they're going to confuse that with a 1913 Ford
People are stupid.
E.
Sure, but you have a decent point there in that, you go anywhere and you're looking for, tires, right? You're looking for tires. But I've never come across a situation where I'm looking for a particular tire and the make and the model aren't both asked for.
Correct.
So, yeah, I mean, we could name every single car manufacturer out there could have a flippin' Focus if they want, right? So you have a Tesla Focus, a Toyota Focus, a Ford Focus, a Chevy Focus, and a Land Rover Focus. And it doesn't matter because wherever I go, I'm going to say, hey, I need tires for my Focus. Oh, well, who makes that one? Land Rover Focus. Oh, perfect, because if you had a Ford Focus, those are totally different tires. It doesn't matter. It's so silly. So sure, you want to have like non-confusion between the Land Rover Focus and the Tesla Focus. That's awesome. I can totally
Ford
appreciate
just wanted
that.
to make a stink and be a bunch of jerks.
Yeah, exactly. And they shouldn't name, whatever. Every car company's got their own like weird naming system for all of their different kinds of cars, and it's totally adorable when you have, you've got the Prius, and then the Prius X, and the Prius SC, and the Prius R, and the Prius non-R, like. It's a freaking Prius or it's not, okay? Either you made a Prius or you made something else. And it could kind of look like the Prius if you want, but then name it something different. Don't have the same freaking name for it. It's so stupid.
Actually,
that doesn't make sense. And then having like the Excursion,
Explorer,
the
Excursion,
Excursion,
Expedition.
Yeah. Expedition. And the best part is that Excursion is usually like a cute little jaunt off to the store. It's the biggest freaking vehicle they make. If I'm going to do a cute little jaunt off to the store, I want the Ford Focus. I don't want the gigantic Excursion. But no, the Excursion is so freaking stupid. It just drives me absolutely bonkers.
With a 50-foot turning circle, by the way.
Yeah, no kidding. They could use numbers. It doesn't, whatever it is, I don't care. It's dumb. It's totally dumb. And one company just had to be like, so I just want to make sure that there's no confusion between our car and your car. There's no confusion, all right? None. Absolutely zero. Not going to be a thing. And Chevrolet Beyonce is hilarious.
Also, we just saw a brand new Prius on the road. It was the Prius Smug Edition.
It was so amazing. I was like, oh, blah, 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 Prius. And Ben's like, that's not a Prius. I'm like, that's a Prius. He's like, no, that's not a Prius. I'm like, I am telling you, that is a Prius. He goes, doesn't look anything like a Prius. I'm like, well, it says Prius on it, so I don't know what to tell you.
It was a Prius Smug Edition.
Smog Edition? That would
Smug.
be amazing. No, Smug. They're all the Smug Edition.
Mm-hmm. Smug Edition E.
Anyhow.
Sergey, I stepped on a Prius yesterday.
Dude, there are a ton of smart car, like electric smart cars.
They just came out of nowhere, too.
Out of nowhere. I think we've seen one every day this week.
Oh, yeah, and they're all like, wee. You're like, whoa.
They're not really. They're more like, wee.
They do have a little bit of pickup, but they don't have like a lot of go.
They do for all of 10 feet.
Wee. It was hilarious. We were walking to Starbucks this morning, and we saw one go by, and it did. It went, wee. And we were like, huh.
At least it's not as loud. I mean, it is kind of like.
It's tiny. It's hilarious. So we're in our Model S, which is wide, right? It's like a boat. You're like driving a boat.
We're
And the Model S doesn't really go
Smart
wee.
Car E, and I'm like, dude, I think we could fit 2 of those things in here.
The Model S doesn't go wee. It more goes. I mean, it's a loud electric car. It does, right?
It does. It makes a decent amount of noise for an electric car.
That's because when you put your foot on the accelerator, it
Although,
goes.
fun story, when we were sitting inside of the Tesla and we heard a phone ringing, and it was very confusing, and we realized that our car is so quiet, we could hear the next car over from us ringing.
Yeah, that's what
It was very confusing.
the phone from a car
We
next
both
to
kind
us
of
was
went,
ringing, and
what
we
is
were
going
like, "What
on? Is it you? Is that me? Is it what's going?" And then the dude next to us answers his phone in the car.
Also, the Model X, 2 things that I thought were awesome. One, the new panoramic windscreen that goes like up and over you. That looks really freaking cool.
Steve Jurvetson has this like Vine video or something like that. I mean, it's just an Instagram video or something where you can see like they're driving in the rain, and it's just like the coolest shot.
I desperately want that. I'm all about that. And number 2, the biodefense mode is hilarious. For those who missed it, the Model X has a air filter that is literally like this big. It's freaking huge. Elon held it up. It was just this massive air filter. That's the primary air filter. And then they have a secondary air filter. Is this just a smart car? Oh, the hell.
I don't know what's going on there. It's very confusing.
Was this linked in the chat room?
Yeah.
That hurts my brain.
It's kind of awesome, but it does make it wider, so I guess it makes it more
So
stable.
the primary air filter is like the length of this desk, and it's huge.
Something like that.
And then there's a secondary air filter that is still larger than the regular air filter for most cars. And so they built a biodefense mode, which is basically puts positive pressure in the car. But yeah.
That is too funny. It's a good thing they put those wheels so wide, because smart cars are tiny little things. We saw like
Is it gonna?
the race car updraft on that one, which was scary pants.
Oh, the ISF.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
scary. It was scary. Did not like. Anyway, so there's that.
We should get Steve Jurvetson on the show sometime.
Yeah,
Let's
we
talk
should.
about his space stuff. All right. I'm done. Mike, you done?
Yeah, no comments on all the car stuff, so.
All right. Thank you, guys. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.